Welcome to our latest epic unboxing video. We've got Loki, Circle of Ouroboros character Warpwolf. Now we're super fortunate to get our hands on Loki the weekend from the pre-releases that were available at SmogCon. They had a limited stock, and with over 400 gamers all keen to spend their hard-earned cash, we did pretty well to get our hands on one. So a little thank you there probably goes out to Jason Enos for helping us out. That's probably particularly reinforced when you think about the other pre-release model at the convention for Circle was Una 2, who for some reason had seen her market value crash a little bit recently, meaning that everyone was after the latest warping hotness that is Loki rather than anything else. Now the forums have positively received Loki, seem keen to explore what he's capable of and get him into lists. Indeed, at SmogCon he was on the table within minutes of the shop opening, with the little Orborites desperate to test his potential. So he comes with a host of cool rules and other bits and bobs. So we've got some nice artwork on the front in terms of the picture. We've got his bio on the back, so unique among his kind, Loki has managed to maintain a measure of both his sanity and humanity, even through the torturous transformation from man to Warpwolf. His cunning combines with his imposing physical presence to make him a particularly terrifying beast of war. And then it goes on to talk about fighting alongside Tanith. So if we have a little look inside, see what we've got. So if we start with his card, we've got a pretty standard Warpwolf stat line in terms of things like speed, mat at 7, so standard for characters, defense and armor 14, 17, so very typical. We've got a rat ability of 6, which is a bit of a standout statistic for Warpwolves in particular, because typically don't come with ranged weapons. And maybe perhaps just a little pillow-fisted in terms of the PNS 14s on his battle shield and bite, but if we bear in mind that he's bonded to Tanith and the spells that she has, then she's certainly got the capacity to rectify that. The reverse of the card will start to highlight, I guess, his particular niche in terms of some of the flexibility and what he brings to the board. The gun comes with drag, presenting a nice flexibility in terms of scenario play and extending threat ranges. And then some of the warps he's got are also pretty unique in terms of strength as standard, but hunter to ignore concealment for the drag on the ranged attack. And then another one heightening his reflexes to make him immune to free strikes. Seems pretty good on a defense 14 warp wolf with elusive as its animus. So if we have a little look at the sculpt itself, got a really nice characterful sculpt in terms of the wolf. Looking nice and angry, as we'd expect Warpwolves would. Transformed from humans to snarling rabid creatures. He's not going to be pretty happy about that. So the new plastics look really nice, it's really clean, not a lot of flash on, certainly on the main body. Got a few little bits on the shield itself in terms of cleaning that up, but the joins look pretty nice, and the other arm just pops under there with the chain to go on there, and then the tail on the back. So again, a little bit of stuff to just tidy up on that before that gets put together to go on in just there. So all in all, a relatively simple 5-piece model in terms of getting that put together. Let's see what we can do and then have a little look at it once it's built. So I've just finished basing and building Loki. Finished him off and just put him on a bit of dry air clay that's dried off, put a little bit of sand over the top of that, and then given the model as a whole just a grey primer. So it went together really nicely. I've not had to worry about pinning anything, and just a bit of glue, a bit of liquid green stuff seems to be holding everything together nicely. All the joins were pretty neat and tidy. So really nice in terms of just pulling him together, getting him up and running. In terms of lists, there's loads of lists he seems to be able to go through. The one I'm just going to put forward is just with Tanith, so she's got the bond with him. I think it'd work pretty nicely with a couple of Skarsfelds. Put the Feral in there for a bit of primal should we need access to that. Then Loki himself as the battle group. We've then got a bit of Wrong Eye and Snapjaw, so there's going to be lots of high defense models there. Defense 15s off the Griffins, defense 14 off the Wolves. The Griffins and obviously Loki have got elusive, so you're trying to hit defense 14 under Starcrossed with the capacity to dodge away should you miss. Got a Wayfarer just to extend threat ranges and give the free charges. A couple of units of Sentry Stones with Mannequins. A full unit of Reeves with the Chieftain, just to give you some nice ranged output. Work your way through a few models there, and obviously with Tanith's spell list, there's a couple of nice synergies there. She's got Roots of Shadow as a ranged attack just to lock models down so they can hit a little easier. And then she's got Affliction as well in terms of an offensive spell to give -2 defense and 1 auto point on the armor, so you can chew your way through some pretty high armor targets that way, or make sure you get some of those harder to hit targets with the Reeves. If we look at Loki himself, then there's 2 spells that really jump out in terms of his capabilities. Siding Touch to give him Dark Shroud and really up his melee potential and output. But then also add Demission, so I talked earlier about those defense 15 and 14 Warbeasts under Starcrossed, with elusive as a Animus, so if they miss they're able to dodge away. Well, how about we throw on top of all that a bit of add Demission, so should something get to Loki that you think maybe he can still hit me even though I've got all that defensive tech going on, well, in that case I'll just move 3 inches away and save myself from taking those attacks. So really great model. I think he's got lots of synergies across the faction in terms of some of the casters he can work with. Looking forward to getting him on the board and doing a couple of battle reports with him. So thanks very much for watching, hope you've enjoyed that. I've been Brett and this has been an epic unboxing.